Hi everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. This is the 2024 Hyundai Tucson SEL. I borrowed this model from my friends at Mike Morgan Hyundai here in Shreveport, Louisiana. If you'd like to know more about this model and maybe come in and buy it, check out the link down in the description of the video and make sure to tell whoever you talk to that Tom from Vehicle Visionary sent you their way. And in today's video, I'm going to give you the information to answer the question, is this the best bang for the buck trim level of the Tucson? It definitely brings a lot to the table, including a smooth ride, comfortable interior, a reasonable amount of cargo space, and you get a lot of features for the money. We're going to show you some of those features in the video today as far as the interior goes, and you might be surprised at what you're going to see. And when it comes to the overall lines of the vehicle, we'll just take a quick walk around here. In the past, it was easy to say, you know what, Hyundai is playing it safe with the design of their vehicles. With the Tucson, as of 2022, when it last received a full redesign, that definitely is no longer the case. You have the LED taillights, a very unique look. I really like the layout here as far as what Hyundai has done. You can see, hopefully you can see it on the screen, that the lighting elements run all the way across. So everything back here is lit. Blinkers are down there on the lower portion of the bumper, and you can still see it's something you're going to see all around the vehicle. This design right here on the bumper, you'll also see that with those 19-inch wheels. You'll also see it with the design of the exterior of the body, especially here on the side. Something where Hyundai is doing a really good job, I think, as far as overall design goes. And this model is front-wheel drive, by the way. Let's talk a little bit about tire and wheel size. 235 on the width, a 55 series sidewall, and yes, these are 19-inch wheels. On the front end, again, continuing with what we had on the rear, LED lighting everywhere you look. LED headlights, LED daytime running lights, that unique look. Everything blends in here. You can see how it flows into the grille, or maybe the grille flowing towards the LED daytime running lights. Just depends on your perspective. And again, the blinker right there. It looks cool. That makes you look cool as a driver when you use that feature. Some of you do, some of you don't. You should if you don't. And the nice large, but not too large, Hyundai logo right there in the center. So that is useful as well. And we'll take a look at the remote as far as its functionality go. Everything you would expect to see here. Let's see if we can get that wrapper out of the way a little bit. I think the thing most people want to know about most is down there at the bottom. That's going to be your remote start. And then we'll have the power adjustable side view mirrors. They're going to have the body colored mirror caps. They're manually folding, but they do here on the SEL trim level have the turn signal indicators built in. And driving aids include forward collision warning, lane keeping assist, driver attention assist. Even more than that, there's quite a bit going on here. You will find a little bit of brushed aluminum trim around the windows, working its way here to the rear roof spoiler as well. You're going to have the roof rails right up here, the body colored shark fin antenna. And we'll finish things off here with the rear roof spoiler. And it comes back here to a very clean look with the rear window. And the reason it's so clean is because you don't have an exposed rear window wiper back here. Doesn't mean there's not one here. It's just neatly tucked away right up in here inside of the rear roof spoiler. And here under the hood is the 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine. It makes 187 horsepower, 182 pounds-feet of torque. And here's something that might make this a popular option among potential owners. It does not have a continuously variable transmission. It has an 8-speed automatic transmission. Tell me what you think about that. I know a lot of you prefer those automatic transmissions compared to your typical CVT. And how about the MPG? It's a little bit hard to see because of the glare here today, but we're looking at 25 city, 32 highway, 28 combined, and a potential of 3.6 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. That really depends on how you're driving. If you're taking full advantage of all 187 horsepower, well, you might not achieve that. If you would like to tow with your Tucson, it can tow up to 2,000 pounds when properly equipped, and 38.7 to 80.3 cubic feet of cargo capacity. You have a few different goodies here and potential options depending on what you might want to have. You will find the 12-volt power outlet and your built-in lighting here. But here's something that you might want to take advantage of, and that's going to be the cargo cover that is not only retractable, you can get that out of the way, you can also take it completely out if you want to. No big deal where that is concerned. And before I show you everything maximized as far as your cargo capacity goes, here's another big advantage here. No tire repair kit. You have a spare tire, very easy to gain access to. It just brings peace of mind. That's a good thing. And here we go. We're just going to pull on the releases right here to show you what everything looks like. Looks like the driver's seat is a little far back to bring everything all the way down, or is it? Nope, we can actually push that on down. And the good news about that is that we push the seats down, and that is going to be what you have. So we don't have a real steep angle as far as where the seats actually sit, or I should say the seat backs. Some vehicles, they sit up at a higher angle like that, and that means reduced cargo capacity. Not in this particular case. And here's a little trick you may or may not know about with the Tucson. Let's say you look at the height of the door right there and you're saying to yourself, man, I'm gonna hit my head on that, it's too low. Well, push it all the way up like this and hold the button down until you hear the beeps. I don't know if you'll hear them in the video, but probably heard that. So what I'm going to do is close the door one more time and show you that it does indeed open to that height. And you can change the height wherever you want. All you have to do is pull the door down or push it up to wherever you want. You saw where it was previously set as far as that goes, and now you can see that it opens all the way up. If you want to bring it down to a different level, you'll just bring it down right here, so to speak, or as an example, and then you can hold the button down and repeat the process. And that's how easy it is to change the height of the rear door here on the Tucson. And taking a look into a well laid out and nice looking interior, let's see, how comfortable are the armrests? Well, that's actually plastic. How does it feel? Well, when you put your arm on there, it doesn't feel too bad, but I don't know how long I'd want to have my arm on there, but just so you know what is here. And I'd call this more of a bottle holder than a door bin. Not necessarily a big deal, but just so you know, you will find, or your rear seat passengers at least, will find the seat pockets on the back of both seats, the fold down armrest right here with the cup holders built in, and rear air conditioning vents in addition to a couple of USB options. And for those who maybe want a panoramic sunroof, tell me what you think down in the comments. Do you prefer the panoramic sunroof over the conventional size? And if so, why do you prefer the panoramic sunroof? And we'll take a look into the front seat through the passenger side door first. Let's see, what do we have here? Now, if you're looking for the most comfortable armrest, boy, it's right here. Nice and comfortable, has a good bit of padding right there, and a true door bin, I would say here. It does have the bottle holder section up here, but a little bit of space behind, pretty deep as well. And just a nice look with the overall design as far as the color scheme and the trim running around. You can see how the trim works its way to where the air conditioning vent is found right here, and then the rest of the dash area. A very nice look. Now, it almost looks like Hyundai forgot something right there because, well, you would think there might be some space right there. It looks like there could be, but there isn't. Here on the SEL trim level, you will find heated seats for the driver and the passenger. Passenger seat is manually adjustable, but the driver's seat is power adjustable. There's the Tucson logo down there on the floor mat. And if you're looking for a place to store your gloves, there's a glove box. Does anybody put gloves in a glove box? I never find gloves in glove boxes anymore, or maybe ever have, I don't know. But that's what it's called, so that's the case. And if you are not a fan of push-button shifters, such as what a lot of the Honda models have, good news. You don't have to worry about that here because here is your traditional style shifter. You can see some of the features and functionality here as far as the buttons go. You can turn the auto stop-start feature off, hill start assist, and then other features as well. And here are the two controls for the heated seats. And the center console right here, something that I know a lot of people like to know about, is the height. You can adjust the height of the seat depending on your height to take more advantage of using this as an armrest. And then as far as interior space goes, well, there is quite a bit in there, a very nice and well laid out area. And then here is the control on the upper console. I'll show you everything that's here. You pretty much know what it is. And then you can obviously control the functionality of the sunroof up there. It slides open, it tilts open, has quite a bit of functionality there. There is the vanity mirror. And you might say, wait, there's no light. Well, actually, it's up here. Now, you will have to turn it on and off yourself, but just so you can see what's there. That's what's there. And I do like the fact that the sun visor does come all the way back. That has its advantages. And when the driver wants to exercise 187 horsepower, there are oh crap handles at every door for passengers to grab onto. And here on the driver's side door, one thing, speaking of the driver's side door, I forgot to mention earlier, those are heated door mirrors in addition to everything I told you earlier. So here we're going to find the typical features and functionality for controlling those power heated door mirrors and all the windows and all the things you're used to seeing where that is concerned. And I'll show you a little bit of what is here. I probably don't need to tell you too much about what the buttons are for. We also have the release right here to adjust the tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. And if you're that person who's saying to yourself, you know, I want to buy a new vehicle, but I'm tired of typical steering wheels. Well, you don't have a typical steering wheel here, at least as far as its look goes. Hyundai definitely kind of setting themselves apart from a lot of the competition just with the overall design. Now, it's purely for looks, not functionality. Driving with your hands like this would probably not work. I wouldn't recommend that. And we'll go ahead and hit our push button start and take a look at more functionality here. Here's where you're going to control everything for those LED lights we looked at on the exterior of the vehicle earlier. You will also find that this is a multitasker that some of you know how to use and some of you don't. What exactly is that? It's called a turn signal lever or a blinker lever. Remember how I said it's cool to use your blinkers and it makes you look cool? Well, that's how you use it. If you've always wondered, you might have said, what is a blinker when I talked about that earlier, or a turn signal? And now you know the mystery. Those of you in Northwest Louisiana, especially, who don't use that option. And here, I can't really say anything sarcastic or funny about this lever because that's what you use to control the windshield wipers and that neatly concealed away rear window wiper we talked about earlier. And you'll also find that you have the 10.25-inch driver's instrument cluster. All that information you need is there. In fact, you have two 10.25-inch screens. And if you don't like the look of that instrument cluster, here's your drive mode selector. I didn't talk about that earlier, but let's take a look at what happens when you change your driving modes. There is sport mode. The first one obviously was normal. And then you have smart, but if you just like normal, well, there's how that looks. Which one do you like the most? Which one do I like the most, you might say? Well, I prefer sport just because I like the way it looks. So, steering wheel mounted controls, we looked at that earlier, really, didn't really talk about it, but it's easy to figure out what's here and how to use that. And then we can go over here to our touch screen. It looks complicated if it's something you've never had in your vehicle before, but it's actually very easy to learn, very easy to use. You can see your features here as far as everything that's here. And if you're looking for your owner's manual or your driver's manual, well, here's what you're going to need to do with that. It's actually not built into the screen. You can just get it on your phone. Very simple to deal with. Just to show you what all is here, you do have your navigation built in or your maps built in here. That makes things very easy. And let's go back here. What's interesting, I always laugh about this because I think it's kind of interesting, but you have navigation right there, or nav, and then you have map right here. It almost seems like that should take you to your maps, but it doesn't, just so you know. And you can see some of your one-touch features here, pretty easy to figure out what all is there. And then Let's go into reverse and see how things look with the rear view camera. You can see that you have the trajectory lines there. Now, it's just one single view here as far as that goes. As far as the overall view, well, I take that back. There's actually two views, but you do have the view down to the ground down there. If you were going to attempt to pull 2,000 pounds, well, then I guess you could do it. But there is the first view that we had with the main camera, or the main view, I should say. There's only one camera back there. Let's not get that wrong, because I don't want everyone correcting me down in the comments section. But hey, you can laugh about that mistake if you would like to. And then dual zone climate control, very easy to use. It is all basically, you do have touch functions here, but they're not officially buttons, I wouldn't say. It's just part of the screen, so you're just going to use that to adjust the fan speed. You can sync both sides together if you want to. Quite a bit going on where that is concerned. And then we're also going to have some connectivity here. As you can see, you have the 12-volt power outlet right here and a couple of USB options. And you probably saw it, but I don't want to forget to mention it. Right here is your wireless charging pad for your cell phone. Okay, we're going to get out on the road for our test drive. One thing I'll say, in my research of the Hyundai Tucson with the 2.5 liter under the hood, a lot of people were saying that the acceleration is lackluster and really underperforms, kind of sluggish. I think that depends on a few things. Number one, it depends on who you are. It depends on what you're used to. And even though I do drive a number of vehicles throughout the week with varying degrees of horsepower, to me, it doesn't seem to be a problem. It seems to get down the road just fine. I don't think most people are expecting neck-snapping performance from a Tucson, no matter what trim level you buy or if it's the hybrid or whatever the case is. This seems to get down the road just fine, get up to speed as it needs to. It's not meant to be a hot rod, but it seems to be satisfactory. I think it will do what you need it to do. And in addition to that, you do have a nice, comfortable ride quality. The front seats are most certainly nice and comfortable. The handling is good. You have a good tight turning radius. And overall, a very good vehicle. Now I'm having to give it a little bit of gas to get up to speed, but I mean, there we are. No problem right there. I'm a little bit above the speed limit, so not a big deal. Even though the speed limit isn't 85 miles per hour, it's 45 where I am right now. But I had no trouble getting there. I also didn't just drop the pedal all the way down to the floor and just floor it. In some vehicles, that helps just to ease into the pedal, and you find yourself with better acceleration when you do things that way. The steering wheel itself, nice and comfortable. Everything's positioned just right for where your hands need to be. When you put your hands on the steering wheel, you'll know what I mean by that. But overall, a really enjoyable vehicle. A lot of great features for the money. And while you do have a power driver's seat and a manually adjustable passenger seat, that's one of the areas where car makers in this day and age are cutting cost, essentially. So if you're saying to yourself, wow, some of those vehicles are just so overpriced, and I will admit that prices are insane in this day and age, this is a very reasonably priced vehicle for what you get. And don't forget, you have two big benefits that some competitors don't offer. Well, I should say really one, because a lot of competitors do offer a spare tire, but you do have a multi-speed transmission. I know a lot of you don't like the CVTs. You'd rather have something such as the 8-speed automatic in this particular model. And while I'm on the fly right here, let's just get here into straightaway. I'm not going to floor it, but I just want to see at speed. If I change driving modes, can I tell the difference? Yeah, I can tell a little bit of a difference when I went into sport mode right there. Not much. You're not really looking for that, but in case you're curious and you want to maybe maximize using 187 horsepower and 182 pounds-feet of torque, well, drive in sport mode. But overall, a really enjoyable vehicle to drive. A lot of great features. You're going to have a hard time beating the price for the features that you get here, but tell me what your thoughts are as far as what you've seen in the video today. So tell me what you think down in the comments section. Is this the best bang for the buck trim level of the 2024 Hyundai Tucson? With a sticker price of just a little over $34,000, you do receive quite a few features for the money. Tell me what your thoughts are. I do want to say a special thanks to my friends at Mike Morgan Hyundai for loaning me this model for the day, and a special thanks to each and every one of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video and would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.